If I wanted to lose at least 10 pounds before Christmas, these are the exact steps I would take. Hey team, and welcome to this week's episode of The Inspired Show, the show that is dedicated to helping you become the best version of yourself, physically as well as mentally. Before we do a deep dive into today's episode, if you're not done so already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you get updated every single time we post a new episode. If you find today's episode helpful, give it a big thumbs up, and any big takeaways, let us know in the comments section below. And most importantly, don't forget to share this with somebody who may also get benefit from it as well. Inside the captions down below, you can also follow us on all our social media pages where we post content every single day, helping you become the best version of yourself, plus access to our exclusive community, which gives you expert coaching for less than £6 a week. So this week's episode is all about what I would do if I wanted to lose at least 10 pounds before Christmas. So at time of filming, we are midway through October. Given us not long until Christmas, we've got approximately 10 weeks. So from a realistic standpoint, we can definitely lose at least 10 pounds before Christmas if we go off the ratio of 1 to 2 pounds per week. And that's one of the most important things that we need to get when we start our journey, realistic expectations. So how would I do it? Well, I'm going to go through my step-by-step process in order to achieve that. So the first thing I would do was ensuring I'm eating the right amount of calories to allow me to drop those 10 pounds as a bare minimum. How would I do this? I would use a calorie calculator to find out my maintenance. Now, if you're on our Built to Inspire calorie calculator, please reach out to me on one of our social media pages and I'll send it over to you. Once I've worked out my maintenance, I would then deduct 10% off that. Why 10%? Because we don't want to go too aggressive. If we go too aggressive, then it's going to make it very, very difficult to stick to. And if we can't stick to it, then we're not going to see the results we want. So a 10% deficit is sufficient for most people to lose at least £1 a week, sometimes a little bit more. Now, as well as eating within a 10% deficit, I prioritize my whole foods, my nutrient-dense foods, 80% of the time. These are things like your fruits, your vegetables, your whole grains. I'd also include nutritious fats in there as well. I'd also make sure that I'm hitting a protein target of at least 1.6 grams of protein per day per kilogram of body weight. On the other side of that, 20% of those calories, I would allow myself a little bit of leeway because the most important thing when it comes to losing the weight is adherence. And I absolutely love things like donuts, cookies, takeaways, crisps, and chocolates. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be smashing them every single day, but I do like to have them every now and again. And if I deprive myself of them, guess what? I'm going to crave them more and more and more and more until I have it, have a binge, have a blowout, and then feel really shit about it. So I want to make sure I include some flexibility into my calories. Now, next up, I would look at my daily movement. If my daily movement was on the lower side of things, under 7,000 to 8,000, I would look at increasing it gradually, okay? So wherever you are right now in terms of your daily step count, just increase it if you can. For example, if you're on 2,000 steps a day, next week go for 2,500. If you absolutely nail that, the week after go to 3,000. And then what you're doing is week on week, you're increasing it, okay? By doing that, you're having more energy expenditure and it's going to allow you to make the journey so much easier. Number 3 is identifying my bottlenecks. What are the potential things that could hold me back over the next 10 weeks in the lead up to Christmas? Is it social events? Is it that I'm an emotional eater? Is it that I have no structure, no support, no accountability, poor sleep? Once you identify your bottlenecks and put things in place to overcome that, it's going to allow you to stay on track. So in terms of social events, how would I handle those as we move through October, November, and December? Well, I'd use things like calorie banking. I'd identify what days I'm going to be going out, if I want higher calories, and then have lower calories the rest of the week to balance it all out, because it's what you do on average over time. If I was an emotional eater, I would ensure I was minimizing my stress as much as I can, eliminate it where I can do, and making sure I'm doing plenty of self-care to help me stay on track. If I had no accountability, I would join a coaching program, like the Built to Inspire coaching program, or to get myself a coach to help me stay on track. If I had poor sleep, I would start looking at my sleeping habits. Am I going to bed at the same time? Am I waking up at the same time? Am I avoiding caffeine at the back end of the day? These are things that will help you overcome your bottlenecks and help you, in turn, reach your goals. Number 4, I would ensure that if I slipped up, I didn't beat myself up. Slip-ups are normal. You are going to slip up from time to time. That doesn't mean you're failing, it means that you can learn. identify why you slipped up and what can you do to learn from that. And as long as we're learning, we can keep moving forward, because it's not the slip itself that allows us to see lack of progress. It's when we slip up and then we go, sod it, I've slipped up, I might as well start again tomorrow. And then tomorrow becomes the next day, so on and so forth. So minimize that time, get straight back on track, and that'll be absolutely key for your success. And number 5, in order for me to not only lose the weight, I don't want to keep the weight off as well. So as well as focusing on the first 4, I'd make a conscious effort to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I'm making them into lifestyle habits that I can maintain long term. Because all well and good losing 10 pounds before Christmas, but what if you can't keep it off? That's why we don't want to go too restrictive. And having a realistic goal like 10 pounds in 10 weeks is achievable. Focusing on a balanced approach to nutrition is going to make it enjoyable. Gradually increasing your steps is going to create less overwhelm. Identifying the things that are holding you back is going to be key to success. And most importantly, making these lifestyle habits to help you on track for long-term success. So hopefully you found that helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button as well. But guys, until next week, have an absolutely amazing week.